What up? Shon Ski in the place to be, and you are tuned in to Third World TV exclusive edition with Chance Willz, you bitch.
See this? My son gave me this for Christmas right here. He was like, Dad, I got you a whole rollie. I said, you got me a rollie. I was like, nah, son, I appreciate the thought though. I was like, look.
We always start the interviews off. You gotta let the people know who is Chance Willz.
Oh, okay, all right. Chance Willz is a statement of life. You know, if you are anybody that just wanted to do something with their life, you know, if you are a mother that's going to school, working 2 jobs, you know, that's Chance Willz, you know what I mean? You have goals and dreams to do something, you know what I mean? That is Chance Willz. But me personally, you know, I've been doing this music shit for like 10 years now, you know. I'm 28. I put out my first mixtape when I was 16 in 2009. You know, I went through many styles and, you know, went through many ups and downs with this music shit, basically, you know. And now I kind of feel like me approaching 30, I feel like I'm in my best form right now, lyrically, you know.
As you should be. What kept you so invested having such a long-lasting career as an artist?
It's all I could do. You know, I can't really do it, like, growing, like, so I played football, you know, from age 6 to age 18, you know, and I was good at it. And I was gonna go play football in college, but the only reason why I stopped was I was like 16, and I realized, I was like, man, what the fuck do I really want to do with my life? Do I really want to wake up every morning and go to the gym and I have to eat these type of foods to maintain a diet and, you know, have a curfew? I felt like music was the best way I can control my destiny. And, you know, that's music to me is like, that's my thing. I can say whatever I want. I'm not really, I mean, of course, anything that comes out of my mouth, I'm accountable for it. But at the same time, I don't feel like I'm gonna be in trouble for it. I can say whatever I want, and that's that, you know. If I could say this about this person, all right, whatever. I mean, you could come check me, but, you know, I'm still gonna say it, you know. And not even just about anybody, just in general, you know. And, you know, it's my therapy at the same time, you know.
I feel that. Like, this is like a big thing about mental health for me. A lot of people can say you can use music as a form of escapism, but I feel like it's also a place of liberation. It's a place of freedom, like you said. Like, I can speak my mind and say what I want. Don't feel bad about it. Whereas I go to a job and I be who I am. I be who I want to be, and it's not widely accepted. I feel like as an artist, as a community, I should just accept the art and the nature of other artists, because we just being ourselves, we're being free doing our shit.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I feel, you know. Like, there's stuff in my songs that I can't say in a tweet or a Facebook status, you know, or even to my significant other, you know what I mean? Or my family, but I could, you know, it's just like I'm talking in a corner and, you know, I feel like the corner hears me, you know what I mean? And then when I put out the song or whatever, and people hear it, they're like, wait, you feel this way? I said, yeah, you know. And, you know, it's therapeutic because it lets people into my world and they know who I am a little bit more, you know.
I can dig it. I really appreciate that. I appreciate an artist that just can, like, come out and be like, yo, fuck this. Yo, this is what I want to do. And if you don't accept it, that's fine.
Yeah, basically.
So did your parents have any issue with you, like, not wanting to go on and pursue football and choosing music instead?
Nah, my parents understood, you know. Like, I remember, like, I almost didn't graduate high school. I was on the verge of dropping out my senior year. And everybody in the school, teachers were saying, oh, he's gonna drop out. And I remember my mom asked me, she was like, what do you wanna do? Like, you're not going to college. I know that you don't wanna go. And I said, look, I wanna rap. And she was like, all right. So she let me live with her. She was like, yo, for a year, you can live here rent free as long as you're working and you pursuing your dream. And I ended up staying with her for like 3 more years, you know. But, you know, she understood it, you know, and my father as well. And my father is probably my biggest supporter because he, at the end of the day, him and I are not the same, you know, as far as how we were in school or whatever. We just were completely different, but he understands me and he's like, look, you're my son, you can do whatever the hell you want to do as long as you know, put 110% into it. So yeah, they are supportive. I mean, my mother now, I mean, I'm sure she's supportive, but you know, she lives in Atlanta right now, and so she doesn't know what I'm doing. You know, she doesn't know about the projects or anything that I got working on. If she just sees it on Facebook, she's like, oh, he got, you know, a new song out, whatever, you know. But we don't talk. I'll be like, hey, I got a whole album out. You know, we don't even talk like that. Like, you know, she doesn't know that shit.
Are you fine with the way the relationship is though, as far as you being an artist and not being able to share certain things with your mom that you can with your dad?
I mean, not really. I mean, at the end of the day, I live my life to have people understand me, you know, and if they don't want to understand, then, you know, I can't really be mad at that, you know. You just gotta have open ears, you know, at the end of the day. And, you know, my mother understands me, you know, because I'm her son, but, you know, I'm a father now, I'm 28 years old. You know, she knows that the life that I'm living is not the last time we were living together, I was 22. So, you know, I think maybe she still sees me as the 22-year-old.
Sometimes they do. It'd be hard for them to come out of that.
Yeah. And her living in Atlanta, she doesn't live up here in Maryland anymore. So it's like we distant. But I still love my mom, you know. At the end of the day, you know, she's my heart as well, you know.
I can dig that. How old were you when you had your son?
So my firstborn he is turning 8 months. So right when I turned 28. So my birthday is June 13th, and my son Santana, his born day is June 15th. Oh. So 2 days after my birthday, he was born. But his mother, my son's mother, had a son prior. And I've been, you know, raising him, you know, since he was 4 years old, and he's 8 years old now. So.
Okay, so you have a blended family.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. How would you say that the transition of being like a working artist into a working parent, was that an easy transition for you?
I say, so the 9 months when my son's mother was pregnant, I was working on an album. I was working on 25th Hour. 25th Hour is out now, available everywhere, Spotify, Apple, whatever. And I was just thinking, I was like, man, I have to put out something. I have to, like, this might be my last album, you know. That's how I was feeling, you know. And I was writing it, especially during the whole pandemic and everything. I had time to do it. And, you know, I put it out in November. And I was finding like a good balance because I'm at home. I got my son with me, and you know he'll let me write. You know what I mean, on the coffee table, and he can be on my lap as I'm writing. And you know I started to just feel it's just different. The fact that I'm you know really I got a son now. That's the only difference, but it's not really changing anything. I mean it's changing my artistry, you know, and how the music that I make, you know, it's a little bit more mature, just a tiny bit.
Are you a bit more intentional with your lyrics and things now because you have somebody that's looking up at you and looking at all the things you do? Because I heard some of your older stuff, like.
Yes and no.
Okay.
You know, because I have a son, you know. If I had a daughter, you know, it might be a little bit different.
We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm trying, you know. I don't want to do anything that, you know, he's gonna grow up and look at it and be like, oh, what the hell was my dad doing? I don't want him to be embarrassed, you know. But I do want him to grow up, you know. 12 years from now, when he really gets into music and he decides to listen to me, he's gonna be like, oh, my dad put me in a song. You know, he used to write about me, you know, So I do say some fuck shit every now and again, but that's just the comedian in me.
Okay.
I feel like if I was a comedian, a lot of the lines that I say would be laughed at. Instead, people look at it like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you said this, So maybe I should have been a comedian instead. I don't know.
I feel like you still can do that shit. I don't see why you can't do all of
that. I'm not that funny.
So what's up with this double standard though? Because I noticed that you said, I have a son, so like my content hasn't changed much. So like, what's the difference? Like, I feel like a lot of male artists have this thing where when female artists talk about super overtly sexual things, it's like kind of looked down upon. Whereas niggas do that shit all the time, kids with no kids. Yeah. So I kind of don't fuck with it, but I just want to more so understand the perspective of it from a man.
Well, I said that earlier, just tongue in cheek. At the same time, if I had a daughter, I probably still would be saying the same thing. But I would actually, you know what? Regardless, when my son grows up, I'm still gonna teach him like, look, these are like lyrics. You know what I mean? I never, treated your mother that way. And there's a lot of women I don't treat women with disrespect at all. When I'm saying certain things, I'm talking about a specific female. And women, y'all know what we're talking about, you know what I mean? And it's not even just, female, like men are bitches too, there's men out there that say or are just moving weird ways. So I like to talk about all of that. And, if I talk about a woman in a sexual way, I can do that, because we all like sex, so why not? And sometimes, a woman likes to be talked to like that, but that doesn't mean I disrespect her. I'm not gonna disrespect her in public, if she wants me to say that in between the sheets, okay, all right, for these next 8 minutes, we're gonna talk like that.
You see? I ain't mad at it though. You funny. Okay, what words of encouragement would you have for yourself 10 years ago? Like, you could have a conversation with you 10 years ago.
I think about that a lot. I do really think about that. I think the only thing I would say is be patient, because when I was 17, I had a rhyming partner, and we used to come in the city and do shows, and a lot of my friends couldn't come to my shows in high school because they weren't 21. So I'm sitting there trying to sell tickets to my teachers or whatever, you know what I mean? And I remember saying, at 17, I was like, yo, by 21, I'm gonna blow up. I'm gonna be there. And then I turned 21 and I wasn't there. And I think it just took time for me to just grow as a songwriter, as a man, and also this business changes so much, that, how it was in 2012 is not going to be the same, now in 2021, So I think I would just tell myself, just be patient. And, I'm still trying to tell myself that, because every now and then I'm like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm not going to be doing it anymore. I'm going to find another job, something like that. Yeah, I just say be patient,
I feel it. It's funny you say that, because I have so many artist friends. Everybody in this room is an artist. So we all have those conversations with each other. We'll be like, nigga, I'm tired of doing this shit. Yeah. I've been doing this since, however many years. Yeah. But I feel like that we slept on ourselves for so long, because you go back and you listen to that old shit, or you watch and you feel like, yo, I've always been on to something, but I let something discourage me and get derailed from doing it. So it's like I kind of wasn't as consistent as I should have been. Yeah. That's probably why I didn't blow yet. Or even just like make a stable living off of it. Because there's so many people that do this shit and you be like, damn, I know I'm rap harder than this nigga. Or I know... Yeah. And it ain't even about that. They stuck it out, and then they just were smart about the moves that they made.
Yeah.
Dude.
I think the main thing for me, I don't even think it's me holding off on not putting out music. I think I've been consistent.
You've been hella consistent.
Yeah, I've been consistently dope.
Yeah.
Dope since 2016, but I've been rhyming since 2009. So think about that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? From 2009 to 2015, I don't even listen to none of that shit. But 2016, that's when I started. I was like, I'm on to something, you know. And now we in 2021. I feel like I'm the most slept on, but I'm one of the best for real. I could rap with anybody, you know, and also I can make records, you know. I can make records that sound good on the radio. I can make pop records, you know. I'm not just one dimensional. I feel like I could go anywhere with the pen, you know. So that's how I feel now. But you know, in 2015, I might have thought that, but I was like, I ain't that nice. But now, you know, I'm in a stage of my career that I feel like, fuck it don't matter. I'll rap with anybody, you know.
I feel it. Do you miss doing shows since like COVID has not allowed us to do as many?
I haven't done, to be honest with you, I haven't done a show. The last show I did was in 2014.
That's a grip ago.
Yeah. And I was doing house parties. I was rapping at house parties, you know, for a while. And I'm lying. Hold up. 2016, yeah, it was probably the last time I did a show.
Okay.
And then 2017 hit, and I felt like I needed to, you know, make better music to perform to. You know, I felt like the music I was putting out, you know, when you perform, there's some songs that you have that they sound good, like when you're smoking and there's a chill vibe. But when you in a room full of, you know, 100 people or even just 20 people, you want to like turn up. I didn't have any turn up records, so I was like practicing, you know, trying to make, you know, turn up records. And but so it ain't hurting me that much because I'm used to it now, but I do want to get back on stage, man. I do want to, you know, because I have a lot of music that I can pull from. I could do a whole 45-minute set if I want to, you know.
That's lit, and we be needing that. I know I just miss the energy. Even if I'm not performing, I miss the energy of the people in there, the music that they would come with, just the vibes, yo. That shit was lit.
Yeah, hell yeah. I remember I used to perform in Sonar, and Sonar was like, that was like the pinnacle for me, you know what I mean? I seen a nigga get stabbed for the first time.
Damn.
It's Sonar.
It's not funny, guys.
But I say that because the energy was so raw. There was like 3 rooms there, and I performed in 2 rooms. I never got to perform in that big room at all. And I felt like, you know, when I was younger, I was like, man, I'm gonna pull my rank. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be in that room. And then all of a sudden, you know, it's gone, you know, so, you know, it is what it is now.
Word. Well, what are some of your hobbies outside of music? I know you get tired of that, you know, the artist questions all the time. I mean, maybe most artists do. I just don't want it to just be hella stiff. Like, do you like to cook or some shit, you feel me?
I like to eat.
Okay, I like to eat too.
Yeah. So. Nah, to be honest with you, I don't really have hobbies, man, you know, because I work and I like to watch TV. I like to like pull, like now I got CBS All Access app on my TV.
You showing off.
So I've been watching all these nostalgic MTV and Nickelodeon shows.
Yo, that's
and so I like watching nostalgic movies, like it's like that I loved when I was a kid. So the 90s and the 80s movies, I love watching those. And I'm somewhat of a movie buff. My stomach. I don't really like. I love sushi. I love getting sushi. Sushi is like, besides fried chicken and mac and cheese, I love to find a sushi spot anytime when I'm out of town, or at least like if I'm anywhere on the East Coast, I like to find, you know, some good sushi. You know what I mean? Here in Baltimore City, they got a couple. Show you sushi. Love that place.
Oh, for real? Listen, you gotta plug me. I like sushi too.
Yeah.
It's like I learned there was a difference between like entry level basic nigga sushi
Yeah.
and then like sushi.
Sushi. So when people tell me they're like, oh yeah, I like sushi too, I said, all right, do you like sushi? And I show them like some things. I'll go on Instagram and I'm like, yo, you like this? Like, they're like, nah. I'm like, you don't like sushi. Get your California roll ass out of here. Don't tell me that you like Philadelphia roll or anything. I don't eat rolls. I mean, I'll eat rolls, but I'm talking about like the nigiri, sashimi.
I had friends introduce me to fancy shit like that. I was like, wait a minute. I feel it. Yeah, I like food. I like all kinds of like international shit. I don't just like American food.
Yeah.
So I'm not scared. You want to invite me to get some whatever the fuck. I don't know.
I'm the same way. Like, there's not too many things that I won't really eat, you know. Like as a kid, I don't think I was much of a picky eater, you know. I think now, being in my 20s now, I'm trying to find exotic things to eat. You know?
Yeah.
I just had pig's feet for the first time.
Really? No, I'm staying away
from pig's feet.
Yeah, this red meat period.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I'm on a diet right now. I'm on a keto diet. I gotta lose. I'm a little bit hefty now. You know.
Okay. Get your sexy back on.
Yeah.
See, food though, it's ways around it. Like I've been learning a little bit more about vegetarian dishes and like snacks and stuff.
Yeah.
That shit hits easy, right?
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
We can talk about food all day.
Yeah.
Well, talk about some shit that you're working on, something that people like, stuff that people can get excited for and anticipate.
Okay. Well, as you know, I put out a 25th hour in November. And when I put it out, it's solely produced by, not only solely produced, but he produced most of the tracks. Kevin Katana, he's from Baltimore actually.
Okay.
We don't really have much of a relationship. Yo, if you looking at this, Kevin, yo, hit me up, man. Cause I tried emailing you, I emailed your manager, yo, hit me up. For real, man, we can really make some music. I don't want to keep going on YouTube to see the new shit that you got, you know. So that came out, and people really fucked with it, and they were like, "Yo, this is a dope ass project." And I didn't think people were gonna like it because it'd been a few years since I put out like a full project, and so I was like, "Yo, y'all really like shit like this? I got a gang of that shit," you know. So I started. Probably in December, I went straight to the pen, and I'm working on this EP called Lil Man Grown. I'm gonna be putting that out in next month in March. Okay. You know, a nice little 7-track. That's produced by Donnie Katana, and yeah, man, this is like probably besides 25th hour, this is the shit right here.
It's the shit. Well, can you kind of just describe the vibe of it a little bit?
The vibe, it's a mixture of everything. It's a mixture of all of my projects from Capital Legends EP to 16 to 25th hour, mixed all into seven tracks. You know, it has I'm pulling from some of my influences. One of my favorite artists is Max B.
Okay.
Yeah. and I got this one record called Late Night Shift. And when I first started rapping, I wanted to rap like Max B. And I heard this beat, and I started to pull, like, I felt like I was 16 again writing. I was like, oh, this is kind of like a Max B record. And it just has a nice vibe where I'm singing and shit like that. So that's like one of my favorite records on the EP. So.
Sounds dope as shit. I really like Max B. Like I was in the Dipset heavy.
Yeah.
Boy, what?
Yeah. Cameron. I got Come Home With Me. That was like one of my first albums that I got. My mother got that for me when I was like 9 years old, and that was like the one album that I had that I kept going to. 'Cause, you know, back then you couldn't get music everywhere, so. You know, I had that CD, and anytime when I wanted to listen to some music, I was listening to that.
That's dope as shit. Like I feel like all week long I've been having these very nostalgic conversations, and I've been like in this very reminiscent place, but I love it though because I ain't feel this vibe in a minute.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I appreciate it. Shout out to y'all for taking me back.
Yeah.
Go ahead and plug your motherfucking self. Let people know where to find you and all that shit.
Yeah, it's Chance Willz. You can find me anywhere, Facebook, Twitter, at Chance Willz. I'm on YouTube, youtube.com/flashy1TV. Matter of fact, I have a video out right now called Chamber of My Reflection. Go check that out. And yeah, matter of fact, please follow me on Twitter because I'll be saying some funny foul shit on there. If you really want to see me get live, go check out my Twitter. All right?
Yeah, we lit.
All right.